Hello, hello. I'm Tracy Harris, and I am a life and power coach. And I'm coming to talk to you today about your belief system and how that affects your reality. So, first, let's just jump right into it. Let's talk about belief system, what that is. Our belief system are the things that we really um, um, excuse me. This is my first live, and I am nervous. So, okay, let's back it up a little bit. Belief systems, your beliefs come from external and internal things, information. So, as we are born, we come into this world, we end up um, learning as soon as we come out the womb, we start learning, and from the information that is being fed to us as a child, as a baby, and growing up, it starts to shape what we believe. Then, as we start to get older, so it's from the information that we're given directly from our parents and from the people around us, from teachers, things like that. Then it also, our beliefs are formed by our experiences. For example, if you get bit by a dog, you believe that all dogs are mean. You start to create a belief, a set of beliefs based on what we experience. As we continue to get older, we also start telling ourselves stories. And those beliefs are also created because we're telling ourselves these stories. So we have different types of beliefs. There are limited beliefs and there's limitless beliefs. The limited beliefs are all the I can't beliefs, all of the things that we say to ourselves where we feel like we cannot do something. I'm not good enough for that. I'm not pretty enough. I can't do that. I can't go to school. I'm not smart in math. I can't start my own business. I can't get a husband or a wife. These beliefs have been formed by our experiences and our external information that's been given to us, as well as the internal stories that we have been telling ourselves. The same is true for the limitless beliefs. Limitless beliefs are like, I can do anything I put my mind to. I can learn anything. I may be short, but I can still make that shot. I can do whatever it is I want to do in my life. Those are examples of limitless beliefs. Now, when we take our belief systems, why is our belief system important? Because it shapes our mindset. A limited belief system shapes a fixed or stalled mindset. A limitless belief system shapes a growth or falling mindset. So, when you, why is mindset important? Why is mindset important? Mindset is important because it creates our reality. The way that it is that we live, our current state of our reality is is directly related to our mindset. When you have a fixed or stalled mindset, you walk around and you don't try things that you believe you can't do. You don't perform well. So, for example, if I think I'm not smart, so if I say to myself, my belief is I am not smart, when I do things that in my mind I should be only able to do if I'm a smart person, I won't perform well. If I think I am not pretty, limited belief, then when it comes to situations where self confidence and my self image is at play, I won't perform well. If I believe that I can't find a husband, then when I come to situations where I am interacting with men, my relationships will never lead to marriage because I believe I can't find a husband. That's an example of how your mindset ends up being your current reality. this is what it is. This is what you believe you can do. This is the best you believe you can be. A lot of times we are stalled in how far we go in our success, in our relationships, in our what the lifestyle that we live. We're stalled because we don't believe that we can have it. We don't believe that we deserve it. Therefore, we walk around with that mindset and create that reality for ourselves. I know for me, when I was younger and I came across this concept of creating my own reality and my thoughts created my reality, I didn't buy that. I'm thinking, how did I create this? This isn't what I want. How did I create this? But as I learned and kept continued to try to work on myself and develop myself, I started to realize that I did, in fact, have limiting beliefs. My beliefs were, for example, when I was young in high school, I never thought that I would ever go to college. I grew up in a low income family. My mother struggled from addiction, and nobody around me went to college. So I just thought that was for a life for other people. I didn't think it was for me. When I was in, 11th, 12th grade, my classmates, to me it looked like the popular girls, the ones who had it all, were, applying to colleges and getting accepted and all of these things. They were smart kids. And I just didn't believe that that life was for me. It just wasn't for me. So what happened? I didn't perform well. I didn't perform well, which led to I didn't graduate from high school. I did not graduate from high school. I actually was at my 12th grade, I'm sorry, at my graduation, taking pictures of my best friend and my other friends as they got their diploma. It was my whole class, all these kids that I went to school with, all the way through 12th grade. Because mind you, I didn't drop out of school. I went all the way through to the last day. I just didn't have enough credits to graduate. I didn't perform well because I didn't believe that I was smart. I didn't believe that college was for me. Therefore, it became my reality, right? So a little bit later, a little bit after that, I met somebody and he dropped a pearl in my ear. He dropped something, it was in the form of a question. And he simply asked me why. The first thing he asked me was, why don't I read? And I was like, I don't like reading. Read for what? I always fall asleep when I read. I don't read, So, and he's like, so what if you fall asleep reading? He said, either you will become a better reader or you'll get a lot of rest. But either way, you should try to read. And so I thought about that. One thing that I can say that I was growing up was impressionable and I could be influenced. Um, I wasn't, didn't have my mind closed necessarily to new ideas, or if someone had suggestions or things like that. I wasn't totally closed off to that. So when he came back with that, I actually started trying to read, and yeah, I got a lot of sleep because I definitely was did not believe at the time that I was a good reader, that I even comprehended well, any of that. So the second thing that this same person uh, dropped in my ear was, he knew I didn't graduate from high school. This was after high school. He said, "Why don't you get your GED?" And I said, I didn't have an answer to him. I didn't know. I didn't. I didn't know. I said, I don't know. And so it was in my spirit, you know. But I had my own plan because I didn't believe in my ability. So I remember sitting on the bus because I was the queen of riding the bus. If you needed to know how to get anywhere, I had the bus schedule. I knew the time. I knew where to transfer, what to do to get from A to B. I was like Lene. I opened my jacket and I had bus schedules all in whatever you need. I got how you want to get there. I can show you how to get there. Selling bus passes. I'm just kidding. But seriously, I was the bus riding queen. So I was on the bus one day and I'm sitting there and they had a sign on the bus that said, yes, you can get your GED today. And I was standing, it was big. The bus has those banners. At least they used to. But anyway, I'm staring at that banner and it's, reminding me of the conversation I had with this young man. And there was a number and I wrote it down. But I had in my mind, I called. I did call. I wrote it down. I called. And they said, this is how it works. You have to take a practice test. If you pass the practice test, you can take the real GED test for free. If you fail the practice test, you have to go to school, classes, and then you have to pay for your GED test. So I'm like, okay, first and foremost, I'm saying this to myself. I am not going to no classes. And secondly, I don't have any money to pay for nothing. So I'm going to take the practice test. But if I don't pass, then that's it. That was my mindset going in. But even though that was my mindset going in as far as what I would do if I didn't pass, I also had gained a belief or a little bit of confidence. And I read a little bit about the test, and it was just, K through 12 information and that kind of thing. And I was thinking, well, I did go all the way through school. It wasn't like I dropped out, at the fifth grade, eighth grade, 10th grade. I did go all the way through. I did take my classes. I said, so I might pass, I might. I'm just not going to school if I don't pass. So that was my mindset. So the little bit of belief I had that I could potentially pass did me well because I did. I passed the practice test. They called me. They told me that I could take the GED for free. And I took it and I passed that too. And so I was able to receive my GED in less than 2 years after I should have graduated. So that I said all of that to say my belief system held me back. It created a reality. Some of my limiting beliefs did that, but I had enough of a little bit of a belief that, and I listened, I considered, that helped me go a little bit further. And that is how each one of my steps were taken, by breaking down one limiting belief and replacing that belief with a limitless belief. So this brings me to talking more about limitless beliefs and how do you change a limited belief, a stalling mindset, to a limitless belief, a balling mindset. This is where I believe meditation, prayer, affirmations, speaking life, whatever you want to call it, comes into play. Because how our subconscious mind works is it gets in all of the information that our conscious mind gives to it unfiltered. It doesn't rationalize. It doesn't say this doesn't make sense. That's not true. Whatever our conscious mind feeds our subconscious mind, it accepts as the truth. So when these limited thoughts come in our mind and these beliefs that's been created, some beyond our control and some because we did it to ourselves, we told ourselves that story. When those beliefs come into our mind without our control, we can actually start to control what we put into our minds. That is why it is important to change the story that you're telling yourself. So when you start to say things like, I can't do this, you can stop, take a deep breath and say, how can I do this? Change it to a question. How can I do this? What's amazing about your subconscious mind is when you ask a question, how can I do this? It opens up and start to give you ideas and ways to do this. It may not be immediately. You might have to wait and continue to ponder on that thought. How can I do this? How can I make this happen? How can I do this? How can I make this happen? Just have that in your spirit and trust in God that He will give you the answer. He will reveal a way. And it will fall into your mind. It will fall into your space. Once you accept that, opportunities start to open. It's not that opportunities had not already been there. It's not that the way had not already been there. It's now we are open to seeing it. We are looking for it, and now we are available to recognize it. Um, a lot of times we just don't recognize it because our mindset is fixed. Our mindset is stuck. We've made up in our minds that I can't do it. And so that becomes our reality. What is presented to us, what we recognize and see, are more confirmations that we cannot do it. But when you ask the question, how can I do it? Then you will start to see all things that will show you and help you in determining how it is that you can do it. And it's powerful. Once you are able to master that, you can move into going from I can't do it to I can do it. Something happens over time when you continuously first make the decision to work on yourself, make a decision to decide I will not live in a fixed mindset anymore, make a decision that I will tackle my limiting beliefs and I will switch it over to have limitless belief. I will attack my stalling mindset and switch it into a balling mindset. Once you make that decision, then you can do the work that's necessary to actually make that shift happen. And what happens over time is as you start to say things like, how can I do it? And you see a way is presented and you walk in faith and you step out and do that. And then it was successful. You start to build stock in that process. You start to realize that, okay, if I think I can do it, if I ask God how I can do it, He gives me a way. If I truly am open to listen to our suggestions and opportunities around me, there becomes a way. A way opens up. It's revealed for me. Remember, it's always there. It's just revealed because you are open to receive in the moment. That becomes stock. That becomes credit. That becomes valuable for you. So when you face a new situation where your limited belief come up and say, no, that's not for me. They can do that, but that's not for me. You can stop easily. You can switch that and say, wait a minute. If I put my mind to it, if I change what I'm saying and what I believe, ways will open up for me. And although it may not be easy, I can do it. That actually can be for me. You start to be able to expand your vision, see things differently, make a shift in your thought process. And once those things happen, your portal opens up bigger and bigger to receive more and more promises, more and more opportunities to become more and more successful at things that when you were in your fixed mindset, you wouldn't have ever fathomed that you would be able to do or accomplish. So I just wanted to bring this message to you because we really do have the power to create our own realities. I always say it, we can write our own stories. The pen is in our hands. It always has been. God is waiting for us to write out figuratively exactly what it is that we want, Trust the process. But the first thing that's important is believing that it can happen for you. Because, yes, it can happen for you. Whatever it is you thinking you can't do, yes, it can happen to you. Whatever level you think you can't get to, yes, it can happen to you. When you look at somebody else and say, wow, they're living their best life, look at that lifestyle, that too can happen for you. But it starts with us shifting our mindset from a stalling to a balling mindset. And that's what I do. I help women in positions of leadership go from stalling to balling in whatever areas in their lives that they may be stuck in. And I start by working with what it is they believe. What do you believe? Where in your life do you want to change that narrative that you are telling yourself? Doesn't matter where you came from, doesn't matter what your circumstances are. As long as you have visualization and belief and faith and you're open to hear, you can shift your mindset. You can change your belief system. I want you to have a wonderful day and go get out there and start getting ready to go from stalling to balling. Let's do it.